Thank you, thank you.
Okay, we can't see. Would you mind, since you're over there, adjusting the camera so we could actually see, there she is. Oh, there she is. Okay. I just didn't see her before. Okay.
So is there something I need to do?
No. We're recording and so purpose, I mean.
So let's see, we have so many handouts. Guys, I need to see which one is which.
Oh, we're there. And they're on the way in. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Right now.
Yes, I love their stoves.
Yeah,
Orange.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my papa.
Okay, so let's see. This is my
Yeah.
copy or, and that's all we have, right? That's everything is empty, okay.
Are there more of them? Oh, those are flashy earrings.
Ah,
Had a girl brighten the day.
oh my goodness.
Oh, look at those.
This is more,
That's amazing. Cute.
thank you so much, thank you
She's
so
such an
much.
I personality, right?
Yeah,
I see,
Yeah.
indeed. She's
Yeah.
everything. Lord, and she says too.
yeah,
I think she's balanced. I think she's all around.
okay. So, guys, welcome to today's training. Very happy to see you. And I wanted to bring to your attention that e-licensing, that's what you can get from the DRE.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Oh, I do, because I have to print them and put them on my walls.
Oh, you do? For those who doesn't, so this is a great thing to have. And now you have this, and you will have from NAR, right? That's what we talked about last time. So you will have everything to show how good you are. You're the best. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. To show that we are the best of the best, the best of the best. Here's Dorothy. Look who's here. Dorothy is here. All right. Okay. Good morning.
This is good. Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Dorothy. Hello. Is Pauline coming? Do you know?
Yes,
She is coming? Okay.
Yeah.
So really will be good to start with everybody is here. Okay, guys, so first topic we're going to talk about is business practices. Good, bad, ugly, and best. So we're going to talk about that. And I need to tell you that you all make a lot of effort to make things right around here. And we're almost there. We're almost there. So today we're going to cover a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
We always cover lots of good stuff.
We always cover a lot of good stuff. That's so true. So good, bad, and ugly. So let's get to Mr. Raymond, could you please get us to the purchase contract? Unless you guys have it, that will be great if you have it.
Just the regular purchase contract?
Contract, and I'll tell you the page. This is everything that I'm talking about today, guys. That's what I noticed while checking, reviewing your. And I think it will be good that everybody hears what we should be doing or should not be doing. I think it's really beneficial for all of us. So let's go to page 3. Please.
Wait a minute, we gotta find it.
No, you don't have it there. It's
Oh,
not,
I see.
yeah. You should bring every time. It's a good thing to have your copy of listing and purchase agreement.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a good thing to have it with you. Please try to bring it. Or some of you use computers, so that's good too. So what Raymond is helping us to get to that page. So I'm going to talk about what I noticed, and it's, in my opinion, it's very important to discuss this. So page 3, Q5 and Q6. Are you there?
So one of
Oh, still, okay. Q5, Q6, for those who have hard copies, okay? All right, so let me know when you're there, please.
Excuse me, is there a book we're supposed to be following along with?
What was that, Kathleen?
Is there a book? She's saying page 3.
Can't hear you.
Yes, page 3, Q5, Q6.
I'm pulling it up, it's the RPA.
RPA is coming up, hopefully we'll be using it always. For those who have copies, it makes your life easier, right? Right, Celeste. She knows that. She's almost like the guru of contracts by now.
Yeah, she is.
No,
Yeah.
that may be.
Oh, Connie.
You said picture.
Yes,
But-
please. Dorothy is very good, very good. I need to tell
In
her.
a section.
this. Yeah.
Page 3, Q5 and 6. There you go,
Okay.
you're on it.
5 and 6. So let's read it. Government required point of sale inspections reports. We have seen that before. And the second one, which are those are two related, government required point of sale corrective remedial actions. All right. So let's see how we understand Q5. Who would like to explain what this talks about? I'm not using the word what it means. Attorneys only can use the word means when it comes to contracts. But you can tell what that talks about, says, the contract says. Those are the words you need to use, not me.
Who's gonna pay for it?
No, that's not it.
So how do you understand? Because
Well,
that's
what's
your,
it say above it?
your job.
Government required point.
No, what's that's, no, on top of that section. Scroll, I wanna see about. What, okay, allocation of costs, okay, the description, who pays if both are an additional term, so that's
So
what it talks
government
about.
required point of sale inspection reports. We're talking about Q5 right now. How do you understand? That's what you need to convey to your client, your understanding of what this is all about. How do you understand? Can someone formulate this, please? Please don't.
I was hoping somebody else would
She's
do it.
dancing this
Yeah, I
way.
know.
Someone else, I know, I waited too, but I can't shut up. So Q5 and Q6.
No, just Q5
Yeah,
first.
just
I know,
fine.
but my answer kind of encompasses both of them.
Let's start with Q5 if you can, please. If you can stand it, then do hold.
If I can stand it, okay, so it's my policy, it's Dorothy's policy to never check anything on those two. And the reason is it could be construed as a blank check for the buyer from the seller. Because if you start bringing up governmental stuff, inspections, all these things that are required, it could be argued that you have to bring that house to code. So I explain, there are places where, the NHD is always required, no matter who buys, and we do need to check the box for that, but that's somewhere else. It's
Yeah,
way up there on
no,
Q1.
don't, let's.
But that's a
focus on
government
this.
requirement. Number 2, anyway, so if there's a specific one, I would rather put it on the specific, and I don't like to check those two.
I see, that's your policy.
That's my policy.
All right,
Okay, my policy is not that. My policy is to protect the buyer because point of sale requirements, like in Morgan Hill and a lot of cities, a point of sale requirement is that there is a sewer lateral inspection on certain dates. So it is a requirement on a point of sale means just that. You can't transfer property, it's at the point that it's sold, you need to have these in place. So I protect my buyer in making sure that the seller is required to make sure we have an inspection. To know that there's 150 feet of bad sewer line here.
So can we start with what the government required point of sale inspections?
It can be a lot of things. In the Central Valley, it
Maybe on
is yes, so that's why you, when you're working out of the area, you need to be talking to the local title company and say, what are my point of sale requirements? Or the NHD sometimes has it, because in the valley, I ran across, my brother's property was, fireplaces. There's there's a whole litany depending, in Monterey County, it's low flow water
Yeah.
toilets and things.
And see, that's why I would rather put it in Q3 and make it specific. Because if you leave it general,
Well,
That's where I feel like it's
the
not.
general is not general, it's point of sale requirements by the government. So
That's true,
it,
that is actually
and
changed.
otherwise-
That's changed.
otherwise-
It used to be just government requirements. You're right.
yes, but it's a requirement by them. And
Right,
so
interesting.
if you put specifics there and you're not, you miss something, that's not cool.
True.
Yeah.
So we got two answers. One is,
One is, I assume that Margaret, you mean not only who's gonna order it, but also who's gonna pay for
Well,
it.
that's what it
That's what it
says at the
says.
top. That's why I looked at the Q section is allocation of costs.
okay, so the first one, the Q5, is the one which talks about the requirements. So what you can do, you can say, what are they? You can put a question mark in that, what are they? Can I go without it? Can I ignore this section? And the answer is no, never, ever ignore this section whenever you are a listing agent or whenever you're a buyer's agent. Never. And I will tell you why in a second. I ran this by car attorney yesterday because I wanted to make sure that my understanding is correct. And he said, it's a big thing, and I will tell you in a second why. Now, let's finish with this one. Q6 is basically who pays for it. Who is the person who pays for it?
Who pays to fix it?
Who
Right.
pays to fix it?
Who pays to fix it if there's, yes, I apologize. You're absolutely right. To correct issues, let's say. So the first question, what? What are they? The second one, who? Who is that person
Where's the
who will
money
pay?
coming from?
Money.
Yeah.
So this is how we should look at these two sections, and I will tell you more in a second. Now, my next question is, which document, card form or card document explains these two sections in more details? Which
It's
one?
probably in our thing here.
No, it's not there. No, it's not there. Anybody knows?
The
But
buyer and
what do you-
seller-
I would guess
Oh,
the buyer and seller advisory.
Buyer seller advisory? Buyer
And,
seller
probably how about the
advisory.
statewide?
I looked
That's
at
what I'm
that
saying,
as
the
well, I
statewide
didn't
buyer
see it
seller.
there.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Yeah, I didn't see it as BSA, I didn't see it, I look there specifically, maybe I missed it, we can take a look together, but I didn't see it. So which document?
We don't know.
We don't know, the answer, we have no idea. Purchase contract. Purchase contract
It should have it.
talks about it.
Oh,
So let's go to page,
You can discuss purchase.
so 10,
let's go to page 7,
10B, is that what that is?
10B,
Okay, it referred to that, okay.
10A.
You know, I really did understand what those little things on the side, so that's the paragraph that refers to it.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
page 7, paragraph E.
There it is, 10B.
So it talks specifically about what we were just talking about, explaining in minute details basically what it is all about.
Two, it talks about the point of sale requirement.
Yeah, it talks about everything. So my question is, do you want to go over it right now or you don't?
No.
You don't, but now you know where to look, right? And if attorney asks you, how do you know that you are right in your explanation to the client, you will say, that's because the purchase contract talks about it.
But
Right?
if it's different depending on the location of the property.
Yes,
Then where in here do you list the required inspections?
See,
So-
that's what makes me uncomfortable too.
so
You don't list it.
you don't.
You
list-
don't list it.
Let's, it's a good question,
So the
I'm going to
title
address
will
this,
tell you.
I'm going to address this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to set a process kind of for this company that you, Miss Margaret, will make it, your policies and procedures, company policies and procedures. Every time you have a listing, let's start with the listing. Every time we have a listing, we ask the client, we point out to this because it's his duty, right? It's coming from the seller. Do you know if this county has A, B, C, D? And most likely he will say, I have no idea.
Right.
You need to find out. Do not do it yourself. Do not do it yourself. That's what car attorneys say. And I agree with them, like with anything else, it's not your duty to go to city. It's not your duty to talk to, you can talk to escrow officer and see, do you have anything that can help us? That's good. But among other things that you prepare when you get a listing, one of the things which will save your butt big time explain to you in a second why. It will be really helpful if you include in your checklist this portion. Do you know if this particular city has certain requirements? Morgan Hill, like you said, has sewer lateral. San Jose has something else. You need to find out from the city. The city needs to tell you what they have. And just I finish and you'll ask me, and make sure that you explain to your client that point of sale is, if it's there, it may ruin the whole deal if it's not done properly. So do it fast. Or, most of you guys, especially like Dorothy, she knows the clients, before even she gets a listing. That's a good thing to talk to people, say, this is the list you need to prepare for me for the listing, if you can do that. So you need to channel their mind to do the right things, to cover their butt and your butt and Margaret's butt.
So you're
Okay,
saying,
go ahead,
you're
I'm sorry.
saying that it's not the realtor that should find out what is the government required
No.
inspections, it's the
No.
client's
Yes.
responsibility?
Yes,
But we work in the city, we work in this city, we work in several. And the sellers expect us to know. They expect us to know.
I agree with you. So one of the things that you can do, again, not for this client,
Oh,
because
generally.
everything that you touch for that person, you are responsible. Let me explain to you why. I don't know why you resent that idea. I love it actually, because let's say that this is my
Because
client.
we have to deal with the
No, I
client.
understand. I deal with that too, but let me explain to you where I am coming from based on what I talked to attorneys and what I learned. So this is my client, right? And he says, Berta, go and find out. I go and find out. Let's say that I talk to someone who has no idea what they're doing over there. They give me information. I bring it to Raymond. Raymond is in trouble. Who he will blame?
You.
Me.
Right.
But if he goes and gets it wrong, he is the one who is responsible for the information. Do you understand that? That's why we are not responsible to go to find out the code if it's up to code. Up to code is different, in my opinion, to versus this one. It's very different. So now, generally speaking, again, generally speaking only, what we can do upfront, we can get information from the city where the property is, generally. And it's most of the times, it's even on the website, right? What are the requirements for that city? Cities have the websites, the requirements are there. You may ask him to go there, but again, he or she will be responsible for this information, not you. Okay, so again, your role is educator in this particular situation. You are an educator. Do not bring him the answer unless, well, even that I will not do. But he needs to get it in writing, because when the buyer comes in, you need to give it to the buyer. How in the world the buyer will agree to mark buyer if he has no idea what's happening, right? I have no idea what I'm getting into. How in the world I will mark buyer? So when you are on the buyer's side, one of the things you need to say that this maybe if that's what you think you should be doing, I will do that. It's contingent. If there is no information, this deal is contingent upon the seller providing the information of what needs to be done and the reports and everything. Because when city is involved, they need to supply all of that. They need to. Do you understand my point, guys?
I'm thinking about an investor, so an investor may though just want a property not as is, quote unquote, and might say they are willing as a buyer to.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me ask you this. Are you using this contract for the investors? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If they waive the interest in this land, then waive it.
Right.
But do not ignore it. If you're using this contract, you need to do that. That's why it's here.
So I do wanna mention something.
Yes.
I looked at an old contract and it just says government requirements and retrofit.
Yes.
And that's
That was
why
old.
I made it a policy to not do that,
Oh.
but the point of sale
Oh,
is
yeah,
very
yeah,
different and I'm on board with that. I just wanna make sure.
Oh,
But I looked at an old contract and there nowhere
Yeah,
does
that's the way
say
I
point
used
of
to do
sale.
it too.
They changed.
All right,
They changed a lot.
Okay.
So
I'm
again,
glad you pointed that out, 'cause did not
Yeah, you're
realize that.
putting yourself in a lot of risk, and let me continue with what I got from attorney who I've been working with, he sent me this on the subject, and I found it, it's been a while, but I found it, and it's very interesting, let me see if I can read it to you, if I have it. Do I have it?
So do you not take a listing if the seller has not provided this information?
No, you do, but you need to disclose this to the buyer, the seller does not have the information about this and that, whatever he or she needs to know, okay.
Do you know what
So-
you're gonna get? You're gonna get the buyer's agent calling you and asking you because they're out of the area.
Yeah.
They're novices and they
Yeah,
don't know.
and the reason I brought it up today, because I see consistently that this is left blank.
Really?
Yes, and I didn't, get to it because we never talked about it, but now it will be different because we already discussed this, we understand. And this is what the attorney sent me email, seller should never agree to this paragraph if it's a seller. If the box is checked, then seller is responsible for the cost of any and all government inspections and reports. This provision is simply too broad and requires seller to pay the cost to comply with unknown reports. That's for the seller he wrote to me, so. And then seller should never agree to the second paragraph. This paragraph makes the seller responsible to pay all costs required to make a property compliant, correct all violation, correct no other improvements. Seller should never sign off an offer that requires him to pay the cost. I have had 2 cases where inspection reports required in excess of $100,000 in repairs. Both of these disputes resulted in both agents becoming party to the litigation.
No, I mean, why?
Well, that was probably, I can see with Malibu or something, and you got this long.
Yeah,
sewer
they
line
do
or
have
something.
you're right, he's in
Southern
Southern
California.
California.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. He is the attorney there, and we talked about this a lot. So think about, Margaret, how you can put it in words, make it a policy to look into that. Don't give them the decisions, I think, but make it a policy to look into that and address that, at least address this, so that, yeah.
So, I mean, what I've always done as part of the inspections, it's a point of sale requirement by the government, those inspections, it has to be in when we're taking a listing, it has to be part of the inspections.
Absolutely.
They're free.
Absolutely.
They're free.
Absolutely.
For the sewer lateral, they're free. We just have to use the plumbers that are approved by the cities. And then they usually give an estimate if there's a problem, estimate of cost. So we have something to
Yeah.
provide a buyer.
So again, we're not doing this today, and believe me, that you're not the ones. You're not the ones. We're not doing this today.
Foundation right now.
Yeah.
So foundation is really not a government.
No,
Buyer.
No, so your role, I think your role, this is, I think your role as an agent, as a listing agent, your role to explore this, definitely point to the point of discussion, make it a point of discussion, I apologize, and then make sure that you address that. When you are on the buyer side, you most likely will not see anything on this. Ask for that and make it a part of the contract that you require someone to come with something. Please do that.
That's where I was gonna ask you, if on a buyer side, you knew that foundations were questionable in an area, would you say that it's
Yes,
contingent
yes.
upon a foundation report?
If that's what your client wants
If
to
that's what
do.
you-
That's part of all. And it's up to a buyer if they wanna do more or if they want them to provide
Yeah.
one.
And make
That's a
sure-
negotiation thing.
Yeah, and make sure, guys, that you diligently get something like waiver. If we don't have a form for certain things, make sure that they waive what they don't want. Don't just take their word, please, that's not works. Okay, next one, very quickly, BRDC. Okay, this BRDC contract, we heard about it, we will work on it later again. We touched upon it, but I have a plan for us on that. But for now, I want to bring to your attention what I noticed. And I want to, before I say my piece, I would like to ask you, how do you understand if you are a listing agent, what do you require from the buyer's agent when you get an offer?
So you need what do you require?
In terms of a BRBC, we're talking about this document only. what do you require to see? On the buyer side, as a buyer's agent, what are you supposed to give to the seller, the listing agent?
Your commission, right?
I think there's
Or not,
another form, but I don't
No,
remember.
no,
I don't
really?
think you give the
I
whole.
didn't think you had to give it to the listing agent, only if requested, right?
No, it has to be with them, you have to provide it with an offer.
Oh, with the offer,
Yeah.
okay,
You
you're
have to
saying
provide
provided
with
with
an
the
offer.
offer.
You can't
Okay,
have a-
sorry.
Okay, but
January
what-
1st.
Yes, so you need to do something when you have an offer. What is it? The question is, we need to do, all of us need to do it right, this, to be on the same level. All right, so what is it? BRBC contract. Do we provide the entire contract? I'm helping you out. Or part of it, or what, or
I
nothing?
don't think it's the whole thing. It's a,
Well,
I think it was the whole
I
thing
don't
when
think
you
would just
submit
get
an
part of a
offer.
contract, and you wouldn't just get part of it. If you submit part of it, you would submit the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's not seller's contract. They don't need to see anything. It's between buyer, client and buyer's agent, so.
You got
seller
one of
does
those
not-
open, I could see.
Yeah, well.
All right,
So the
let me
question
tell
is,
you.
you're trying to prove to the listing
Yeah.
agent that your buyer
Yes,
had the paperwork
Yes.
done.
yes, because
Basically,
this
then
is,
you just represent the
this law, this is a law, we know
Yeah.
that, right? So only with the offer. It goes only with the offer, last page of BRBC. Last page of BRBC goes with the offer only. Please note that I will start asking for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet because I do see BRBC, but it's not the, okay, so I'm going to change that because I want you to make sure that you do it right, guys. This is required by law, so let's do it right. Last
But just
page,
the last page.
last page.
Is
of
it
the
bad if
offer.
you give the whole contract?
Don't do that. They may accuse you of, because again, this is buyer broker, right? So I don't want you to be involved into something that may be something confidential. I don't know. Let's not do it. They want last page, let's give them last
Yeah,
page.
yeah, only give them what they asked for.
Yeah,
Just like
don't-
IRS, don't give them
Yeah,
more than they asked for.
don't give them more than,
Yes.
do you agree? Okay, very good, very
So
good.
that goes to the seller.
Yeah. Yeah, the seller, last
With the
page,
offer.
with the offer only, you don't need if it's, yeah, you don't need if you just, talk or something, here I am, here's my paper, don't do that. Only with offer, okay, that's clear,
Got it.
that's got it. I want to make sure that Dorothy is involved as well.
Yeah, so, oh. The last page of the BRBC is what you submit with the offer, only,
Okay.
not the
Okay.
whole shebang.
Okay, now, let's get to our, oh, you didn't cut the names here, I mean, you didn't.
It's all right, we're not gonna, we don't.
But that's okay. All right, guys, I did ask for permission. So let's take a look at other several business practices that I would like to bring your attention to. And this one is buyer counter offer. If you can see it, you don't need to look at the names. Let's go straight to D. 1D. Buyer's counter offer 1D. Okay, Miriam, can you read that for us, please?
1D,
Yes.
other terms. It says purchase price to be $1,500,000.
Okay,
And number 2, EMD to be 3% of purchase price.
what's wrong with it? Because we now know we are really advanced here. Yes, Pauline.
They abbreviate EMD, it should be earnest money.
Okay, so formulate what's wrong again?
Oh,
wow.
because they abbreviated it.
Abbreviation, no explanation, right? And another thing is, so we need to explain everything. And now I found 3 things that I will, brought my attention. To be 1,500,000. Do you remember what I told you about the numbers when you write numbers?
Should write it down.
Should
so-
write it out.
Yes, you should put text. So, yeah, text goes first, from what I understand from attorneys, and then in parentheses you put the number.
Okay.
Big difference, right? In professionalism, competency, and no attorney will be saying
Do
anything.
you put any in parentheses, what?
In parentheses, you
The
put
number.
number,
The
1,000,005, but before the number,
Got
you put, spell it out, okay?
Is it a problem if you put it if you write it out after?
I don't
the
think
number?
so,
Okay.
I don't think
Just
so.
wondering.
And you should calculate the 3%.
Okay, you are
Isn't she
genius.
smart?
Well,
Isn't
yeah.
she
Isn't
smart?
she something?
Oh my
I mean,
God.
but if you make a mistake, then it's your error, right?
Right.
Your dad was Einstein,
I
right?
was
No?
actually.
Alright, so the second one, EMD, it should be spelled out, you cannot leave it like that. And 3% of the purchase price, of 3% of the purchase price, I would not do anything like that ever. Here is why, number one, what's the purchase price? So you need to put the purchase price here,
The
right?
purchase price was, it's one
Well,
point
it's the
five.
one you're proposing, that's the counter, that may not be the.
Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So this is if your sentence asks for more questions, it's not good for you. Okay, will this ask for more questions if attorney looks at it? I think it will.
Well,
What
what
is
if
the
this-
purchase?
What if the seller responds with seller counter number 1 and they change the purchase price,
Okay,
but they don't change the
then you
earnest
respond with
money?
a new counter until you get
So
it
you
right.
just keep
Yeah,
More paperwork.
So
more,
it's specific.
say more, write more, say more, write more.
no, it's not
If
right.
you just
more.
leave it as 3% of the purchase price,
It covers whatever.
Or the
it
better-
covers whatever
Changes.
Or the
subsequent.
better situation is, let's say that you put the physical number in there, they go to a higher price, but they forget to change it,
Well,
you only have to pay less of the earnest money, and
That's
that's what they
what
agree on. That's
very
better for your
often,
client.
that very often happens, you know, when we don't put the earnest money should change, it to be 3%.
Yeah, if
So
you just put the flat number in there.
stays what the original.
No, I
offer
understand your point. Guys, when we are here, we're not talking about very specific, tiny, minute specific situation. We're mostly talking about general. Every situation, every transaction has their own. If the purchase price has not been finalized yet, then it should reflect that. It should reflect that. Or do something, because this is what I see here is very general. Is this specific to this transaction? I don't think so, because it doesn't tell me the specifics, so I have more questions. Of course, you can do whatever you think, it's not me in your place, it's you are doing your work, your job. But what I'm telling, generally speaking, that if this asks for more questions, it's not good. So whatever, I cannot put the words in your mouth right now, because I don't know the situation. But generally speaking, 3% of the purchase price, why is it even here? If 3%, just 1 second, if 3% already been indicated, right? Why is it not?
That's my point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point I wanna make,
Yeah,
that the original page 1 states
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah.
The deposit will be
Yeah.
3%, so why do we have to talk about it
Yeah.
again?
yeah, we shouldn't.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
very good point.
Maybe it changed from 2%.
No, but in the beginning, it asks you exactly what the earnest money is, and then it calculates what percentage it is, it doesn't
We
say
don't-
3%. And that's why I think on a counter, you have to put,
Are
you
you
have to
sure?
address the earnest
The
money.
page
I
1
don't
does
understand
not.
that.
Positive, yeah.
D1, and you put the dollar amount, I think,
I-
and I don't know if it calculates the percentage.
It doesn't calculate, but we should not be calculating anything.
No, the zip form calculates.
Yeah, the zip form calculates, escrow calculates, all that is done. We shouldn't put any calculations. And this particular sentence, if you don't need to do that, don't use
Don't
it.
do it.
Yeah, don't do that,
This
that's
isn't
my
the permit.
point, okay? Because it asks for more questions and I don't know your situation.
Unless purchase in this counter offer, maybe the contract said 2%, and now they're changing.
Then it should be said from 2 to 3.
Oh.
It should be explained. It should be explained. You know me by now, you know me over a year now. I'm very particular. Because one word changes everything. Your defense may, rely on this word. So if you say from 2%, and you'd indicate purchase contract, the page, the document that you're referring to 3%, that makes a big difference in explanation, okay? All right, let's keep going. Next one, seller multiple offers, what did
Yeah, I know, it's not, but it's.
Is it the same? That's the question. Yeah. I don't think so. Right.
Okay, so let's go to seller multiple offers right now, please. Okay, children, attention. Okay. So please, let's take a look at D, again, purchase price to B, again, seller multiple offers, your handout. And we have purchase price to be 1 million, so the same thing. COE, the same thing, it's not explained what it is. And again, close of escrow in 30 days. Guys,
I've got it up here if you guys need to read a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
generally speaking, guys, I just want to make sure that when you say, I know the contract is like that, but when you say 30 days, 15 days, 20 days, it will be really helpful if you put the date there, that everybody sees the date and agree. 30 days, from what date? It doesn't say here. Do you see how?
Wouldn't it be just when it's signed, the date from signing,
Well,
No,
generally?
no, because the situation for different people may be different, right? And they may want closing later than signing this. So no, you don't go by the signing date for sure. But one thing is very important, you explain more. If you start writing, think as an attorney. Think as an attorney, please. So this is very important. Everywhere you put 30 days, 17 days, so many days, put date that everybody sees that because people do count differently. Please, okay? Seller to pay buyer's agent 2% of purchase price commission. The reason I brought this to your attention, we decided that we will not decided. That's what, it's a rule now, it's a law now. Do not use anything on the listing side if that's the listing side. You know what it is. But generally speaking, if you represent the seller, do not put anything concerning commissions, buyer's commissions. They should be done on different paperwork, on different forms. We do not do that. I mentioned it last time. I am reminding you. So Pauline, please remove those sentences from, Dorothy, because it will put Dorothy in trouble.
Well,
Okay.
So
could you
this one was done incorrectly then, they shouldn't have.
That's right, that's right, yes.
but it's someone who does not have the ability to come into our compliance meeting, so.
I wish that
Understood.
everybody's here, yeah. Video doorbell and exterior security equipment will stay, no dishwasher. I think that's fine, right?
No, wait a minute, can we go back to this buyer's agent 2%?
Yeah, I had a question,
Okay,
in regards to would it be okay to say seller to pay buyer 2% concessions?
seller to pay buyer, so we do have all that in listing agreement, we do have documents, there is no need to do it here.
Okay.
Everything should be done in specific documents.
The seller multiple counter, it is not a seller, I mean, this is a seller multiple counter, the buyer isn't privy to the listing agreement.
No, that's right, but everything should be done prior to the discussion with the seller and the documentation, right? It's prior.
Right, and then I'm looking in this checklist in E, I don't see where we attach the appropriate one to put the seller's paying towards buyer's concession. We do an other and then put a different form, I mean,
Yeah.
what is
Is that
that
what
one
we
that
do?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody understand
What
that?
the,
No, say that again, please.
please explain.
So instead of putting that there about the commission, you would go to section E down below and check mark other.
Good point.
Right, okay,
Sorry, it's I scroll one time and it just.
okay, up there, you put other,
Yeah.
and then you would put,
One
Whatever.
week, baby.
hi, Joseph.
Hi.
Okay.
Do you have a question, Joseph?
Sorry, I unmuted in my pocket. I'm sorry about that. I'm listening in. So
Okay, very good. So you would check mark other, and then there's some other form. that talks
Yeah.
about what the seller's gonna pay the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Agree to pay.
Yeah,
And do you have the date there too, or was it?
no,
You have to what?
Date there.
the form will have
The
it.
form will
Okay,
have the
just
date.
where.
So there's
you
an
know.
official
It's
stay
basically
on.
an attachment.
Oh, okay.
So let's make a rule, guys, anything about commissions, let's use certain forms, anything about commission, don't write anything new, don't write anything yourself, it's not a good thing. Because you may miss something that is legally required and it's not a good thing. Do you understand, guys?
Do you
Alright?
know the name of the form, Virgil?
Well, I don't remember right now, we need to go back to check that, I knew I don't remember,
Yeah.
it's so many of them. We will talk about that, we'll talk about that part. Alright, guys, so this is very good, thank you so much for your input. Now, let's go to the next one, which I have here, I don't know what you have, I have access to ethics, it's probably the Avid, that's Avid forum, right? Avid forum, and, why did I put it here? Let me see. Let me see. So I don't remember why I used this form. There was a reason. Maybe it's a continuation of another form. You have a question? Someone has a, oh yes, I remember now. Guys, let's take a look at the first box. The disclosure is based on a reasonably competent. You see that one? Okay, now in this box, it says here, just saw it. What is it? I just saw it.
So you bring it?
Stephanie, I'm sorry,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you can hear it.
So focus here.
Oh, yes, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth line, take a look at the fifth line, please. Take a look at the fifth line, very important. Inspection date time.
Oh, inside the box? is
Yes,
what you
inside,
mean?
the first box, yes. Inside the box, you will see weather conditions,
Yeah,
and you see the word fine. Do you see that?
yeah.
First of all, number one, I would like to bring to your attention that I do not see agents filling out AVID. They do everything else but outside condition. They don't do that.
Oh,
It's a part of AVID. Please do that. Do not miss it. Please. You need to do it.
Fair, rainy,
So,
Cloudy.
now the word fine. When you read this, what does it tell you? Nothing, huh? Nothing.
No.
It's like I see that, for example, Celeste is kind of not in a good mood. I asked her, Celeste, how are you doing? She said, fine. Right?
Leave me alone.
She said, fine. So it keeps. I want to ask now. It didn't answer my question. I want to keep asking her, what is it?
It means freaked out, insane, neurotic, and emotional. I don't want to ask any further questions.
Amazing, amazing. So what I have done, I have prepared for you, where is it? I have
Is
prepared-
Bear okay? I usually use Bear.
So we have a handout for it.
We have a handout for you guys. to
Pretty
help
giant
you out.
handout for,
Yeah, it's quite big handout.
Synonyms.
Thank you for Raymond, he's really helping us. Those copies come.
It's in disposal.
Would you please pass it?
Words that describe weather. Oh my god.
What this has to do with.
How many trees are we?
So I prepared,
Long.
yes, you have it. I prepared this for you to help you out with more professional. And this is what you can use from now on. You can find the word that describes your weather.
Oh, this one's warm weather. Oh, okay.
Okay, and it gives you warm weather. I think it's really good, guys. If you start using it when you prepare this, it will be really good.
Why? That's a good one. Why do they put that on weather condition?
And that I don't know.
I will tell you.
Yeah.
Because I did one time on a house and it was sunny. I did actually put sunny. I usually do sunny or 74 degrees or something. But when I went to do the final walkthrough with the buyer, it was pouring rain and the rain was pouring into the garage.
Yeah,
We have
that makes
videos of it doing. So nothing ever went to court, but I was always thankful that I had written something on my ADID.
There we go, there's the.
Yeah, so that
Lesson.
it was sunny and 74 degrees. Except when we went to the final walkthrough.
So, again, guys, I hope I took a long time to prepare this for you, but if you look through this, it has different smells, if you describe smells, if you describe different type of weather, it should be very helpful. You just glance at this and find what you need, okay? And it even gives you information what sunny means, so it's really a good thing for you to have, guys. So I was hoping when I prepared it was really big job for me to do, but I thought I would do it. That's where I got it from, huh? All right, so this is, please, hopefully that will be a huge contribution on my part to you. Okay, now speaking about aided for dual agency, let's talk about that. You guys do dual agency quite a bit here,
You bet.
right?
You bet.
And I talked about that before. We do need buyers, do buyers aided, and we need listings aided, listing agent aided. We do need that. Now, I want to bring to your attention, hopefully I will see it.
One on over there.
It's usually gonna have to be.
Oh, well, we might have more, yeah. Do we have more?
Yeah, we will.
Oh,
Does someone have one?
no, we didn't have one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, so now I forgot what I was talking about. See?
Dual agency, we need a buyer and a listing.
So I don't see it here in this one. I don't see it here, but I want to bring to your attention. It was Dorothy's, she allowed me to talk about that. It was Dorothy's transaction where she put dual agent on the agency disclosure, and she also put dual agent in the purchase contract. So my question to the words dual agency, dual agent. So my question to you is, where dual agency is confirmed?
An agency disclosure form.
The very first one where
But
they
it's on the
contract.
Agency, confirmation of agency.
Where do you see confirmation of agency? Which document shows us
The AD.
confirmation of agency?
Yeah, the RPA.
Purchase contract only. Purchase contract shows us this.
Mhm.
So there is no need, and again, it's not that it will kill a deal or bring to a lawsuit, but if it gets into attorney's hands, the attorney will be able to prove that she is incompetent. She doesn't know. You see that? How interesting, huh? For 20 years being around attorneys, I really learned a lot. So I need to tell you, don't do that, please. Do you understand, Pauline?
You're suggesting that they will say you're incompetent because you didn't know that it was
Exactly.
represented in the purchase agreement and
Exactly.
should not be represented anywhere else.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so dual agent
I don't know
words
your con-
should not be written anywhere because it's confirmed in the purchase agreement, so we don't need to put dual agent anywhere.
Well, what'll happen is they'll ask, so why did you decide? What made you decide to add dual agency in the contract, right? And they won't be able to.
I can tell you why, suspenders and a belt.
What would you answer an attorney?
Because on the AVID, it very specifically says agent that did not do this AVID, sign here. So I can't sign there. So then they look at the AVID and they said whoever represented the buyer didn't sign this. Well, I did because I was a dual agent. So that's when I took that habit on of writing dual agent to be very, very clear throughout, to make it so that it is not a mystery.
No, it has nothing to do with it, really, in my opinion. In my opinion, what you just mentioned, AVID part has nothing to do with it. We're talking, you put dual agent not on AVID, but you put it on agency disclosure and you put it in the purchase contract, and that's no, we don't do that, okay? Because confirmation of dual agency is already there,
It is,
okay?
but if you open, go ahead, well,
Let me open
it's
this
on that
tab.
page, right there, it's on that
It
one.
doesn't require that. The bottom line is AVID does not require anything like that because it gives you who is the buyer's agent The buyer's
You
agent
see-
signs and listing agent, yeah, I know what you're talking
Real
about.
estate that did
I know
not do
exactly
that.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about, it doesn't call for it, there is no need for you to worry about it. Absolutely no, okay, so the point is, don't do that in the future.
So don't write dual agent.
Yeah, don't try to, there is no need for that, okay? All right, next, what I noticed again, when I was reviewing transactions, I noticed that Dorothy mentioned in one of her, I thought we will have it to show you, but she mentioned on her, was it, yeah, I don't remember the document name, but one of the documents said listing agent, she put her information, which was good, right? Then she put on the buyer's agent, because she is a dual agent, she put information same as above.
Oh, okay.
We don't do that.
No.
Please don't do that. Same as above. So we need to put every single line should be filled out. Yeah.
Again, well, okay.
Address and
Specific.
phone number.
Yeah,
Well, again, we
email
still have, I mean, still, it's missing on the ABID then, and then there's still in the footer, it has all the information in the footer. I mean, it's pretty obvious
the
who
contract-
generated.
If the document is asking, that's all I'm saying. If the document is asking you to put information of buyer's agent, although you are a dual agent, you put every single information on that piece. Please, okay? This is the right way to do
The
it.
first page of the Avid, what does it say at the top of the page? Who's completing it, what company is, you don't have the whole thing up. You have.
I can pull it.
Yeah, pull it up, I just want to see it.
Which is just.
Here, there.
So those things that will be very helpful not to do it, again, for your own sake. That's why I brought it to your attention, because I do care a lot. So I think that it will be much more professional if it doesn't say same as above. Same as above, not on the contract, not on our contract. Okay, yeah, we don't do that in the contracts, please. Then another document that you do have is this kind of, you do have the copy of this one. So hopefully that will help you as well. So it says here at the bottom. Yeah,
Three?
page 3, yes. Agent will pay HW on behalf of buyer. Let's talk about this. No, let's talk about this. No. Agent will pay HW. What do you think? If you're an attorney, huh?
It's a home warranty.
We know
Home
what it is,
warranty. So number one, it should be spelled out, right? We cannot do things like that. And again, the whole industry is like that. The whole industry is doing things like that. You know that when you see other contracts, right? Other agents' contract. So agent will pay home warranty on behalf of the buyer. And here, how this agent potentially could get into trouble because Dorothy you didn't emphasize, in my opinion, how much you will pay, when it will happen.
It says it right
It's not-
there.
I didn't think it
It is, it's right there.
Go
It's
to the
right
right.
there. Go to the right there.
Line 50.
If seller or both are checked, seller's cost not to exceed, oh, it was seller's cost not to exceed. I thought it was warranty cost not to exceed. Okay, no, you're
You
right.
see, so this sentence is very vague, and if it comes to the person who will be getting this, and he may say, I want the warranty that covers $1,000 or $2,000. I want everything because you just told me.
Oh, so actually, because the buyer is paying, that should not be there. Is that what you're saying? That should be blank.
I'm saying that.
Right, and I could have put that in other terms, not to exceed.
Yeah.
But you can,
But that's up to the buyer to decide. Because the buyer's paying it. So
This is
they-
between
No.
buyer and seller.
no,
but-
see, there's no agent checkbox there.
No, there
So you
isn't.
have to do it on the buyer, and then you say the agent will pay on the behalf of the buyer. And then when you do your broker demand to escrow, then escrow knows to take it away from the buyer. We have to put it on somebody's column, has a buyer or seller. But then if I'm gonna do that as a gift to my client, that's where I pay for it.
Well, I usually put it, write it in. Oh, but it's not limited to. Where do we
So
put it
again,
in?
I don't know why they did,
Why?
why they,
Oh, right there, other terms, yeah. Oh, home warranty on behalf of buyer not to exceed, so it all should be right there in
It
R.
should, that's where I should have put it,
Yeah.
but it used to be
Spell
that
it.
the home warranty should not exceed 550. But for some reason, they said the seller's cost won't exceed
Right.
550
Oh.
instead of the cost of the warranty, which I think is a bad change.
I agree, yeah,
It's a
it's
really
very
bad
not-
change.
it's not very not-
The seller both. are
So
okay.
getting back to this writing,
No, they're not, seller or both only.
so
Yeah, so this doesn't even apply technically because it's not someone or both. It's-
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
says buyer.
yeah, buyer
used
does
to.
not apply, it shouldn't be check marked either. So,
Unless you're supposed to check buyer waives home warranty plan, and it's just a deal between the agent and the
No,
buyer.
no,
you
no,
gotta
you
have the-
have to have it
this
in
is
the,
escrow instructions.
this is escrow instructions, so it has to be in a column, which is in the buyer's column, which is why I checked it there.
So what, if you just put take the 550 out and put it down in other terms?
I would
right?
check, I would
That
check
covers
the
it.
buyer,
Yeah.
and check the buyer.
No,
No, you
leave
have
the
to check the
buyer,
buyer.
No,
you have to leave the buyer,
Why?
Yeah.
because escrow won't know what to do. I'm buying it on the behalf of the buyer, so it has to be in the buyer's name, and it has to be in their column, and then I credit them back or pay that.
absolutely, I think this is correct, this is all correct, everybody's correct, except I really had concerns about this writing, okay? So think about it, how to do it better next time, but this is very vague, we need to be more specific and we need to,
Well, what is it
Explain
gonna,
that.
okay, so let's specify this one, what should it be? A buyer's agent shall pay
yes,
home warranty
in the amount of
Right.
to whom,
up
then I will
to.
be,
Not
or
to
up
exceed
to,
550.
then I will be
550
paid.
on behalf of
Then
the
it's
buyer.
very clear,
Okay.
because now you can pay everything, or they will ask pay whoever, you agree to everything. I don't want you to agree to everything.
Yeah, then you could have.
Is that clear, guys?
And
Everybody
I
good?
thought it was not to exceed, but I never read that, it says seller.
Right.
Alright, we're good,
We're picking on Dorothy because she does the most and we've got something that we
There's
can
so
help
much to
with.
choose from. We have some examples.
that's exactly what, that's exactly what.
For me, and.
So, I mean, but that is kind of.
You're gonna be an example, she good or bad.
It's new and it's.
Yeah, that's good, right, guys? We're learning from Dorothy. Actually, she is contributing to our learning curve. But that's correct, she's doing a lot of work here, so.
And no HW, it's home warranty. Could have been
Okay.
HW Bush, I was just kidding.
Okay, very good. Now-
Weather.
Now, let's continue. Let's continue. One of the things, do you want me to continue, guys? You would like to talk? What would you like to do? Okay, let me continue. That's what you like me to do. Very good. One of the things that I keep saying, write less, right? Talk less. But when you do that, facts, be more specific. That's one thing that you learned through the year. The second thing, we need to document everything. Remember we talked about last time?
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry, Raymond, can you open the chat?
Yeah, open the chat, Connie's saying.
Connie
open
says
the chat.
something.
Oh,
Sorry.
we got stuff going on, great, only the, whoops. Okay, so.
There it goes.
So, okay, and now Connie, we just, so what if we're changing the commission from 2.5 to 2, that was earlier. So if we are giving the HW, home
Home
warranty
warranty is a gift.
as a gift, we leave the boxes blank and fill out, no, you check box the buyer.
Or the seller, one or whoever it is, you're paying on their behalf.
Yes, you could have.
Oh, okay, you could do the seller
Right.
too, you would, really?
Yeah.
With the seller,
Oh,
hold on, please, it's with the buyer actually, I agree with Margaret. With the seller, you probably will do it at the listing side, what you will do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the agreement is there, so this is on the buyers, so Connie, you,
But at the same time, we do need to disclose this
We
with the
talk-
buyer.
no, that's part of my speech to my seller. If a purchase contract comes in with a request that you pay the home warranty,
Yeah,
I will pay up to $550 of it for you.
yeah, and
And
that's.
so
the
that's,
listing.
that may not be on a purchase contract unless it's a dual agency, but it may be, it will be included in, in the in the commission demand or wherever escrow can get the information.
Right, but it won't be on the RPA.
Not unless I'm a dual agent.
Only if you're dual agent, and even then, well, you can do it in many ways, you can do addendum to the contract, right? You can amendment to the contract, you can do counter offer, you can find places, not here. That will be probably better, in my opinion.
Okay, so Connie, because she can't, her voice is gone. So if we were giving the home warranty as a gift, we leave the boxes blank and fill out other terms with the company, the amount and who is paying, correct? So we just went through this, did you, on the screen? So you would, if your buyer's agent is paying on behalf for the buyer, you would check mark buyer. And you would just mention the company, and then under
In the
other.
amount of, exactly how much.
No, stop, don't confuse us.
Okay, sorry.
Under other terms, right under it, you would put buyer's agent
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
home
yeah,
warranty on
Absolutely,
behalf of the buyer
yeah,
in the amount not to
Yeah.
exceed
yeah,
the amount.
not here, yeah, not in this
Okay,
line, yeah.
yeah, don't talk between me, because I don't know if she can hear me. Did you get it? Connie, was that clear?
Oh, she said, got it.
Oh, she got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
on the top.
Okay, let's go above. You said something about the commission changes. You asked about the buyer broker. We were talking about counter offers.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Her first question, if we only have to submit the last page. Now let's talk about how. Zip Forms puts everything in a package. The only way to break it apart is to have paperless pipeline. No, you can download it as a PDF and download a certain or print to a PDF the page you want. Connie, you never have to download the whole document. You can indicate which page. Page 15 or whatever. Okay. What if you're changing the commission from 2.5% to 2%? Well, you still refer to a commission agreement or something. There's
I don't
some
know,
other
is she
form.
talking about commission agreement?
She's
I think we're talking about the multiple seller counteroffer.
Yeah, but the counteroffer, buyer counteroffer, or seller
okay,
counteroffer.
Okay,
We talked about that it should not have a
The
percentage.
commission,
yeah, so you use the appropriate amendment form for buyer broker agreement.
Okay, did you hear that, Connie? Use the appropriate form amendment for a
Buyer
buyer broker
broker.
agreement. And you refer to it on your
Yeah.
counteroffer. You
Yeah.
don't put it there, you refer to the amendment.
That's right.
Okay, how's that one? Cool. Well, Augie got it.
Very good,
Okay.
very
got it.
good. Okay, guys, do they have this document?
yes.
They
Be
do.
careful what you
Guys,
bring.
so let's pull this document, it's very important document, we're going to study it. That's why I brought it to you, I want to bring to your attention, because we need to really understand
You have them?
something.
I'll find out for me.
How about them, do they have access to the document?
They're already.
Oh, they did, you
Yes.
did
Oh,
send it?
I think you got more.
Or
You
no,
got
I
more
printed
than one?
them. These are all prints.
No.
I'm pulling it up now. That's why.
Okay, that's fine.
TDS,
Oh, it's got 3 sides.
ADID, and be careful what you say.
Okay, so I would like someone to read
Everybody gotta
it,
be careful what you
please.
say.
Let's,
Gotta be careful.
yeah, let's ask Raymond to read it for us if we don't mind.
Yes.
We
Go
want
ahead,
to
please. You
Oh,
have it,
okay.
everybody has it,
Yeah.
okay? So let's study it, because it's very interesting. Okay, go ahead.
The April 2024 quick guide reminded real estate licensees of the legal requirement to keep records for at least 3 years, although many brokers keep records for a longer time. But did you know that the Department of Real Estate Bulletin 2013 requires text, emails, tweets, and the like created and sent or received by a licensee during the negotiation for the sale, purchase of a property to be maintained as part of the transaction file, just like other documents pursuant to Business and Professions Code 10148. Moreover, courts have found that electronically generated writings are documents and are discoverable under the same rules that pertain to written materials.
Keep going.
California law permits your communications to be discovered during litigation or arbitration. That's right, a court of law or even arbiter can require you to turn over your electronic communications for everyone to see. You can be compelled to reveal something that you write or post or record, even if you got at the time that it was private. Intended for no one other than the recipient, the person you communicated with has the same obligation. The communication might be embarrassing or worse, reveal something unethical or illegal. Once in the hands of the other party to a dispute, the item might be used to show that you or your client are liable for non-disclosure, concealment, fraud, or illegal discrimination. Even if not dispositive, the revelation could be harmful as it might cast doubt on your credibility and give a judge, jury, or arbiter an excuse to rule against you.
Okay, keep going.
Real estate licensees' communications with their clients are not privileged. Certain communications are privileged, meaning that confidential communications between certain people cannot be used in legal dispute. There is privilege between physician and patient, attorney and client, clergy and penitent, and mediator confidentiality, to name a few. Sometimes the trust and bond that a real estate agent develops with a client can cause the client to reveal secrets, and this could lead the agent to think that the agent can say things that one would ordinarily not say during a professional business relationship. There is no real estate agent-client privilege or confidentiality that will keep communications private in the event of a legal dispute. What you put in writing or say electronically can be captured, discovered, and may be used against you.
Clear? Keep going.
What if your client or an opposing party or another agent starts the communication? It does not matter. At all times, you should act as a real estate professional. That means you should not behave inappropriately, cursing or name calling, even if the other party has done it first. You should not respond immediately if you are angry. You may have a right to be upset, but if you have time, consult with your broker or office manager first. Let someone who is less impassioned respond. If your client wants to do something illegal, such as discriminating based on race, religion, ethnicity, or any other protected class or characteristic, or refuses to disclose a material fact, you should not concur or participate in such unlawful activity. Although you may feel a need to create rapport with a client, your obligation to comply with your legal and ethical duties takes precedence. While you do not have to be accusatory, you should not be complicit in any wrongful activity. Remember, anything you write or say could be discovered and be harmful to you in your client's legal position. When it comes to real estate communications, forget about your ABCs. Always remember your ABP. There is an old adage in real estate known as the ABC rule, always be closing, while ABC rule may be just fine when trying to get a listing or helping buyer and seller close a sale. The new mantra when it comes to real estate communication is the ABP rule, always be professional.
Good job, Raymond.
Thank you very much.
Take a
All right,
breath.
guys, very good, very good. So now I would like to discuss this. What have we learned from this legal article, guys? I want to hear from you.
Leave the real estate industry, it's too dangerous.
And you will be the first who will not do that.
Oh, no. Well, there's no privilege between the real estate agent and the client, like there is between other professional organizations such as
Okay.
doctors or lawyers.
All right, what
Yeah.
else?
Privilege.
Be careful.
Anything else?
Be cautious
Be cautious with what? More.
in your contracts and your discussions, what you have with your clients.
All right, in communication generally, right? What else? Have you?
Well, I mean, I think your client expects you to side with them if there are tense moments. And you better not put it in writing.
Okay.
Make a copy.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
be careful what you put in writing in any kind of writing.
Yes.
electronic.
Social
Okay,
media.
text with clients.
Everything can and will be used against you.
You don't call them children.
All right,
Whether you're.
All right.
like to go.
Margaret,
Oh,
have
what?
you?
I don't, always ABP, I like it.
ABP, you like
Yeah,
that?
I like
All
it.
right, guys, so.
But here's the other thing is,
Uh-huh,
and it is hard, I mean, Dorothy has a system, Pipeline gives you a system to do your communication on email so that it ends up in your transactions, so you don't have to worry about it. Cause I have had to pull all my information together for to be reviewed under discovery. And I didn't even make any money out of the deal. I mean, it wasn't for me, but they needed all my communication
Of
with the
course.
agent that was being
of
sued.
course, we know that, that's why. So guys, let's set some rules here, okay? Which will really be very helpful to kind of, comply with this policy. First of all, do not communicate, do not advertise, do not expose anything that your client doesn't want you to. So you need to talk to your client, what cannot be exposed. For example, I'll give you an example and you will come up with your own list. Please work on that. It's very serious. So for example, let's say that I'm a buyer. I came to Margaret's open house and I say, Margaret, you know, I really like the house. It's so nice, but why they're selling it? Buyers always ask me,
Always ask.
right?
Yeah.
Why are they selling it? What's the reason? Looks so nice in beautiful areas. And Margaret, what Margaret will tell me? Please.
Well, it depends on what the answer is.
Well, whatever.
I
Tell
have
me.
one
Tell me.
answer.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Ask them.
Tell me,
No,
please.
I have
What
one
would you-
answer.
Okay.
They're
Tell.
relocating.
Relocating.
They
Oh, you're laughing.
are.
I'm
No,
not
I'm
laughing.
serious.
You're
They're
laughing.
relocating. They're moving.
They're moving. How? When you, the moment you say that, did you concur with your client that you can say that in writing? No, and the answer is most likely no, right? That's what's happening. So my point is, guys, DRE has investigation department. They're doing tons of things there, new things.
So we're supposed to say they're not moving? I mean, because they're moving, that's why I'm there, and that's my answer. And if I use a nice big word and close my sentence, that's the end of the answer.
This is different. I'm trying to make a different
I
point.
understand.
Okay, I hope you do. So it's not what you answer. The answer may be 5 words or 5 sentences. But the point here, before you answer, you need to get your client's approval. It's not your home you're selling. Everything what your mouth will open, everything that you put in the ad, remember we talked about that. Every ad should get client's signature, approval signature. That's how you protect yourself. And Margaret. Margaret needs to be protected because I keep saying this because she is dealing with paperwork, not you. She is dealing with, all this, not you. There is no one to explain anymore after closing. She needs to have every single thing covered. So that's why this particular brokerage is different. That's what we're trying to achieve. Okay, so you will say, oh my God, this extra work. Oh my God, that's probably not too good for the. Doesn't care what you think, guys. It cares what attorney says. How did you do your job? Did you disclose information that was not supposed to be disclosed? And to you, like this document says, it may seem like a regular thing, but for the client, it may be very something. If I'm moving out, I don't want them to know that I'm moving out. What if they have some enemies? And what somebody brings somebody here to find out why they're moving? It's a lot of things may happen. So don't look at it as your business as usual.
So
It's
your
not.
recommendation though is, so for example, at Jeffrey, at an open house, the people will ask, what, and you could say, well, it was a rental and the family decided to sell. But you're saying we should have a document where that family has told us exactly what we should and shouldn't say.
Exactly. And what I will do, I will prepare a questionnaire. Guys, you are so you're so wise, you're so competent, you're so experienced. You can come up with a general questionnaire, and that will be good to have it in the office, like a policy and procedures thing. So and give it them to sign, answer that and sign and give it to me. So what will be your answer?
Well,
Wow.
that would be better if it's a standard form.
Standard form.
Format.
And that's what I'm trying to do,
These
to
are the
standardize
questions,
a
yeah.
lot of things.
Shoot, what are these 6 reasons why you're selling and just check it and sign.
That would be
It would be
okay.
good if we have this policy to have all of the different forms or questions that we have to get their approval. So we don't have to do it one at a time is all I'm saying. So if.
Yeah, I
this
agree with you.
one and
I
then
totally
that.
agree with
No,
you.
you need to give them a package, yeah, absolutely.
So, and speaking about that, that was my next kind of important thing. We need to create listing package. You already have some documents there, but we need to add some. We need to have company approved listing package. That will bring us to a different level of compliance.
And
I
hers
hope
is
you.
too.
Yeah, and buyers too, you said? Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree. So guys, this listing package should consist not only with the disclosures that are required. It should be other things like this one, then something else we discussed
Right.
when we talked, and I can talk to you about working with sellers actually. We talked about something else, just listing agreement. But working with sellers will bring more thoughts. How do we do properly things? So we need to have that here, and that will attract new agents because they will have everything at their disposal, right? I don't need to break my brain. I will be protected here like nowhere else. No one else will have. My brokerage has everything that I am telling you. Unbelievable. I ran everything by attorneys, and they said they never seen anything like that. Because that's me. That's how I do business.
With all
So
the changes,
and all the
you know,
changes and everything, yeah.
it's much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if we
it's a
have
constant,
that,
yeah.
if we have that, we will be on a level where agents will pour into this company because they want that. They want that easy way of doing business. Another document that I highly recommend to make it as a listing package and buyer's package is this document. So it should be a part of it, okay? So when you give them a listing package, this should be a part of it. Okay, this is disclosure information advisory. I apologize for. Okay, disclosure
Yeah, I hate
information advisory. Okay, other advisories that we have on our list, everything should be a disclosure. As a listing package, and you give it to them upfront. It doesn't mean they need to sign it right away, but the fact that they will sign that they received A, B, C, D, you gave them time to read it. Will they read it? Probably not, but who cares? You did your job.
So isn't
Understand?
that part of what we have on the,
No, we don't have everything here as a listing package. I'm going to
okay,
modify that.
but can it be, so, all right, once we get that, where will we put it? So in the transaction checklist?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
and pipeline,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
it'll just be
yes.
part of that, yeah.
So now our goal will work on a listing package. That means that we need to cover ourselves the most, the best. Okay, so is that clear, guys? That's clear. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. Next, what we are going to talk about. You have several, we're not going to touch today one. I think one document we will not, we'll do it later when we talk about purchase contract. Next, we're going to talk about pipeline, okay? After the pipeline, we'll talk about purchase contract tracking, tracking items. So the pipeline, I want to explain to you one more time, and we will look at several examples. The purpose of the pipeline should not be, it used to be here, like it's your working place. It should not be really on the screen that I'm looking at. It should not be like that. And I will explain to you what I mean. Can we go to Dorothy's transaction one, because it's good thing. They're doing a lot of good things actually. Which one was it? I think let's try this one, and see if it works. Okay, hold on. Keep going. Yeah, keep going down. Yeah, this is a good example. So this is a very good example. Can you move your cursor, please? Thank you. So we will have two sections. Have you done that template for listing?
Yes, but it only applies to new transactions. It can only apply to new transactions.
Only to the new ones?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you finish the whole thing with it. Okay, we'll take a look at that. So, Pauline, why are you laughing?
Oh, cause I have my little.
Okay,
notes in
so
there.
let's take a look at this section. What it does, at first glance, it shows like, yeah, it's good. It gives you the date, so on, so forth, so on, so forth. Yeah, that's good. Let's then move a little bit, move, yeah. Here, we have something else,
Marketing.
okay? It should not be here. It should not be here. This is not what Margaret needs in case of audit. And hold on, and here is why. Actually, yeah, let's move up a little bit, just a little bit. If you can see, all this requires answers, and they're not answered. It's blank, most of them are blank. It's no consistency in anything that we see here. We have a mess of listing, we have a mess of information. So all this will not be helpful.
But we need our notes somewhere and you want to see our notes. So where do we do this?
So, yeah, so let's talk about this and come up some great decision. My idea of the perfect file is to remove all these things from here. The only thing to have here, for Margaret's sake, will be a listing template that you will show in a second, and purchase template. Those are the only things that we need to see
Yeah,
here.
but you want a timeline too.
Yeah, well, that's right there at the
I
time.
know, but she doesn't want that.
Yes, she does.
She just said to get rid of it.
No, get rid of all the to-dos, the sign goes up, the
Yes,
marketing,
yes.
it's all
You
that internal
understand,
stuff you
we're
do.
doing folio, you want our folio copied on here, you know, I mean, so,
I
I mean,
understand.
we're doing extra work to make sure it's exposed there, but
No.
I mean, for us, we have to go to 3 or 4 different places to
No,
pull
no.
it together.
Hold on, please. I don't know how the system works. I'm only telling you what will be very helpful. We need to remove everything that are not related to the contracts,
The timelines
the
of the contract.
timelines. The timelines only should be here.
Got it.
Okay, that's what I suggest, that's what I recommend to do, and we will take a look at the templates that you prepared. So all this, can we scroll again? So all this, first of all, they're not filled out. Transaction after transaction, and not only you, Dorothy, it's everybody. They just put something here probably because you already have it here, but it's blank. It's never, no answers to, like, for example, chimney inspector, yeah, okay. And then was the inspection happened? Okay, maybe we have some other
Those are just-
places
Yeah,
to
so the
do.
way we do it is on a spreadsheet, right? You have your dates, and then you can update it, but it's a worksheet that
Can
is
we-
internally to us.
Can we more?
I don't know, I mean,
Well,
and then you could take that worksheet and upload
It's
it.
just I wanna
You
look
know,
at
but-
one place and it has all my notes compiled, that's why I put it there. That's what I
Yeah,
couldn't
pipelines
figure out.
after that.
Okay,
Well, we used to keep it somewhere else, but then we kept getting, found it on because it wasn't here, so now.
It was not what we are looking for. It was not. I never mentioned any signs. I never said any ads. I never
Yeah, you
said.
said when we're doing our marketing, we need to track what we're doing.
Oh,
We
no,
have to
no,
track it,
no,
that
no.
is part
Let
of
me
the
repeat what,
timeline.
no, let me repeat what I said. I said what we need to see, a copy of CMA signed when you showed it.
But the contract talks about the sign, you said you have to
We never-
document everything
No,
you're
we
doing.
never said that. I never said that.
Well, it's in the,
I never referred to anything like yard signs or anything. This is not
you
my.
said lockbox, yards, or like several weeks ago. Yeah, you said like, if it's in the contract, we have to have it in pipeline. Okay,
Well, no, wait a minute. It doesn't,
It's not a date.
it's not a timeline.
It's not a timeline. We
The
talked about.
contract, the listing agreement doesn't say lockbox must be on, by what date.
Yeah.
I know.
That's your internal workings.
Okay, I mean, that's fine, okay.
Yeah, it's
So
your
is-
internal to-dos.
is there,
It's not,
Yeah,
It's not part of the
so the
contract.
bottom line is, let's
I
move,
have several.
we'll find the solution. The only thing I'm trying to say today, that this will not help, this is not for the audit. My goal is to have this prepared for the audit. What does this mean? That we need consistency, we need to show the documents in chronology, how they come in, we need to do several things to make this system works for Margaret. It's only Margaret right now we're thinking about, okay? But she will be one-on-one with the auditor.
so, okay, Connie's making a couple of points, let's go back up. She said, I got called into court on a listing agreement that never was listed, so communication prior to a transaction is equally important, absolutely. The last one, I would think the marketing would be good to keep track of activity. Yeah, so Connie, what we're saying is pipeline and those that is not the place for it. That's all. Yes, you can
That's
keep
all.
track of your
That's
marketing,
all.
but you can
Yeah.
have it on
Yeah.
something else. I think a
Well,
spreadsheet is
if
the right
it's
thing.
still be in pipeline, you're just saying it won't be at the very top of
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah, it could be private docs or
It
something
could
like
be.
that.
You can
could
put
be-
it in private docs, you can create your own section, from what I understand, you can do
I think
it.
there's also a notes section. Can't you do?
No, notes is to send somebody a note.
Okay,
Oh.
so
Yeah. Email.
let's take a look at the listing, at the documentation itself, one more
Go
time.
down.
Please, go down, please, go
And
down.
Berto, your concern is that the auditor, when they see notes like that, has more ammunition to ask lots of
Yes.
questions.
Yeah, lots of questions.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
so
Do you
no
understand,
check mark,
guys?
was it complete?
when you minimize how much is
Yeah,
there.
now she needs to look for those answers that she will not find. It's really very dangerous for Margaret. The more information which is exposed is right there for auditor, means that she needs to answer, not you, right? Okay, so let's go
Yeah,
to the
okay.
documents, no, to the documents, the list, yes. So for example, let's take a look at buyer's docs, let's take a look at buyer's docs. Okay,
No, all we got is an EMD. Okay, this is brand new sale.
go to buyer's docs.
There's all
It's right there.
Only one.
EMD, that's all that's there.
Ah, that's all, it is right
There's no
here.
purchase contract? Where's the
I'm,
purchase
it's in the
contract?
sales docs probably.
Yeah,
Then
those are
sale,
all
there you go. Okay, let's go to the sale.
Oh, buyer's docs, that's a different, I never heard of this section being named like that. So that's why, sale docs, okay, thank you. So, we talked about it a lot, right? We do not file here initial package itself. We split it. That's why our data here looks so nice. So we start with the residential purchase agreement, right? Right here. But now we are going to change it to BRBC. So we need to have the contract, BRBC contract first. Then we'll remove this, we don't need that.
We don't need what?
Open this, please.
Which one?
Initial buyer's
Oh,
package.
the
I
initial
thought that's
one's
what you wanted me to refile, that's why I put it.
Yeah, I thought you wanted the entire package and then the
No,
broker
guys,
part.
I keep saying it for a year.
That's
No,
why
we
I
don't
didn't.
need that. We only need documents, initial buyer's package, initial listing package. It's how they come into you, right? But it's already on the checklist. We go by each.
Oh, I thought you wanted.
Well, yeah, because you put initial listing
Look,
package.
look at this. So what's the problem? Initial listing package, it gives you documentation that needs to be filed here. Not the package, we need
Not the
to
package itself.
itself.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
if I was doing this, I would bring in, I could stick to it myself. But I would take the buyer's package, the initial, and I'd stick it down
Yeah,
in
you just put
my
it private.
private stuff.
I did, but
And
someone told me I had to
I
put
would
it
be
there.
breaking it apart and moving it where it needs to go,
Yeah,
right, the
As
different
you can
pieces.
see, and we will take a look at new modified checklist. So it goes residential listing, agency, so
You
it
must
goes
go there.
all the way. But
Let's go
before,
to the checklist.
yeah. So before this, we will have buyer broker agreement if you represent the buyer, okay? So it gives the steps that you take. First, you come with a buyer broker agreement, right? Next, you come with the purchase contract and other forms. That's what you do. That's very simple. We were talking about a year.
Okay,
Since
purchase,
then.
right there, buyer broker compensation.
Okay, so in this case, the first document should be BRBC and whatever you have with it, if you have
It
any.
is there, but it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, we need to give this flow, we need to give consistency and chronology. That's what helped Margaret to explain. And that's your guys' job to help her by doing what we're asking you to do. So that's all there is to it. It's not that hard. So and then you go with whatever is on the listing, in the checklist. Is that clear?
You know, this is good to have it in a flow that's a chronology. Whenever I've had to go, and personally more than I'm on, whether personal or otherwise, to go in front of a judge, I've always had, gone through my file and just made everything so simple for them to follow that, and then summarize the steps, so that way, there's no question. I don't have to answer a lot of questions because I
Everything is
gave the
in
whole
front of
package
them,
to the
yeah.
judge, I gave it to the other guy. you know? And the judge kind of like, well, she's got her stuff
Yeah.
together, right? And
Yeah.
then, you know, it's always been in
So
my
it sounds
favorite.
like you need to,
Oh, it's there.
create workflow.
Yeah, kind of a workflow.
And that's typical in organizations is to have workflow,
Uh-huh.
so that someone coming in or judge or whatever can look and go step by step in order,
Mhm.
so that they'll know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's called workflow.
Yeah.
So it
good
sounds
point.
like maybe that's what we're
So
trying to create here.
consistency, chronology, that's what the attorney is looking for, chronology, consistency, and of course, compliance with signatures and the right wording, everything. So basically, it's very simple by now, it should be very simple, we already have good results, we have seen them, people don't have any, too much trouble, so unless you forget something, please ask me, okay? So this is what it is as far as this. Let's go back to the top again, please, to the top, all the way, yeah. So we will remove anything that that is not on the template that you, and we will see the templates. It will be listing, it will be purchase template, and that's all we need to have. Now, this part, I don't know, I don't care, that's up to Margaret. However, we already cleared this, so this is really good, this is really helpful. Listed on, accepted on, closes on, very helpful. Problem, the issue with this one is closes on, and you close it earlier, right, than this date, for example. This is not checked, this is not modified, so the data is not modified. So whoever is doing your transactions should be on top of those things, not only doing what they need to do, but they need to follow up on every single step and modify the system. Again, think about Margaret, think about her, what she has to go through just in case, all right? So this is very important. Now, I just remembered, I wanted to talk to you about this. If the closing date is changing, do you need to reflect it in a document, or you just close it, that's all?
Modification. Amendment.
It's not happening, guys. I do not get documents that show the changes.
That's interesting, because usually escrow wants it, or a lender wants it. They want an amendment, or usually they ask for an addendum amendment.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm not getting it.
So, okay, the closes on isn't just about, you know, me, it's about you, you know, the individual agent, because we look at, okay, that's closing coming up. We're not gonna write a check yet, or look for an escrow, a demand, right? So, if it's closing
Yeah,
early, we
that's
need to know
true.
early,
That's
because,
true.
you
That's
know,
true.
you're not gonna get paid, or we're gonna have to scramble, so.
Okay, very good. So this is all very good. This, like I said, I don't know listing price. Again, if it changed, it has to be changed here too.
I would think on the commission summary, that would be a good point to talk about the home warranty. If there's, because, well, I mean, you're gonna put a request for a whatever, a broker demand, right? Request for broker demand. You have to remember to put that in. Sometimes we forget, right? And then it sneaks up on us at escrow. So I think right there in the summary, that would be a good place to put that.
You can use this section for escrow. Whatever goes into escrow, you
to
can
go
use
to
that.
right.
A home warranty, for example, will be good here as a reminder if you want it, but it's up to you. Now, let's take a look at your work. The templates, listing template and purchase template, please.
While you do that, speaking of workflows, that was a good point you brought up, because remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed workflows in the ERC in the Resource Center, and how that's a good place to put the whole, and there is some in there, we just have to update it, you know.
So this is the one
listing
that
and
you sent me,
the
tracking
stuff that
items.
maybe not,
And I put it
so.
in there. So this is gonna go onto the more info field where it
I
was
think individually you can.
on
do it.
every transaction, this will be defaulted.
Yeah, so we need to come up with a listing package, which eventually we will. and
Oh, I
we
don't
will add,
care,
yeah,
so
right?
I don't care what you use.
So-
Okay.
So right, these
So
are just the tracking items.
If
The-
you
but-
want to.
The ones that you
You
want.
need
Put it
to have
into pipeline, just put it
to
down
say
in private doc.
tracking,
You know,
listing,
Okay.
yeah, we need to have some, yeah.
So
listing
private
period
docs are there.
tracking. Yeah,
It's still not private, right?
Just one second.
Say, oh,
And we just learned about it, this is all not private, so if it's in there, it's gonna be exposed anyway.
Right. But I thought
So
there
it's
was something
folio.
in, I thought there was
If it's your
something,
communication, you wouldn't do anything.
I thought there was something in pipeline that allows you to say who gets to see.
Yeah, it does.
And what they're saying is it's not private as far as, but it's not part of the contract.
Legal.
It's not part of, the contract, because your folio, I'm sure you've got somewhere where it's complete, or
Right.
they,
You
yeah,
did great.
where right
Yeah.
there it doesn't, that's her point, it doesn't, okay, what happened here? It happened, but it's not a requirement of that.
Okay, so guys,
Inner workings.
alright, okay, so we are clear, so we will make it happen, it will look beautiful. And this is the contract tracking, listing contract tracking items, we need to add that. Here are several items we need to track, but we will add listing package items to this. And again, once you put the date, you should start doing it as soon as it's up, or it's up already, I don't know. Is it up already?
This applies to new transactions.
Yeah.
So it is
That's
up,
right, that's
okay.
right, you just told me, thank you. So the new transactions, you will have to fill this out.
This is gonna be in the more info field, so you guys are already putting your timeline and stuff, it's just gonna be in there
Mhm.
already by default.
Okay, if any of the dates here that you will put do not happen, you need to send the explanation to the pipeline that Margaret knows why it happened, why it didn't happen. For example, listing dogs to the office. Sometimes you can, for some reason, there are reasons maybe, but she needs to know why it was not done within 24 hours. So you can do even here, maybe that it's probably very good to have explanation right there that she sees it. Investigation reports, again, the dates are, everything is according to the contract here. So if we don't stick to the contract dates, we are not compliant. And we need to make sure that we represent our clients properly. So this is very good to have in front of you. Guys, I know right now you maybe feel upset, maybe you feel scared, maybe you feel angry at me. I don't know what you feel right now, but I need to tell you, it really helps. It really helps, really. Believe me, you try several times, like anything new, everything will be fine. Let's take a look at the purchase, please.
What do you think purchase?
So what do you guys use, so do you use a
What
Google
do you
Doc
mean?
then to
We have the
pick
purchase.
certain dates, so do you?
This is the only one.
Oh, that's done, okay.
This is the general transaction, right?
All right, so let's do purchase.
That's a reminder.
Raymond, are there?
Camera was right on your hat all the time. Oh, that's why I was checking.
Oh, no.
There we go, okay.
All right, let's talk about purchase, purchase tracking items. So you do have a chart, right? Do they have a chart?
Can we see video? Can we see people's faces?
I
There we
don't think
go.
anyone had a camera on.
It doesn't matter, this one, I wanna know where it is. Okay. Very good.
So Legal created a chart for us for tracking items. So I think it will be very helpful to give it to your clients as well. So let's take a look at it, please.
Where in her?
It's the link I sent you several times.
For your clients to talk. So do you do that in Folio? Does Folio send a payment to your seller or your buyer when it doesn't? Oh.
And when it's done, it shows it's completed.
And at the end of the transaction, it grabs all of our email. And saves it and archives it.
Yep.
And every document that had ever any relation to our buyer, seller, escrow, is whatever,
You found it?
attaches it so that we can find it in the.
I sent you
And it
several
doesn't-
messages.
Just collects.
On a module.
And Folio is, you get that from
There's nothing in
CAR?
there.
Or from
It's a third
MLS?
party.
How much
It was to you.
$25 a month.
That was to everyone.
Oh, for
No,
me,
I sent
it's
it
so
to you.
worthwhile.
The link I sent it to you.
So worthwhile.
Try
It
it.
does
Timeline
not
of events.
replace pipeline.
That's not.
Pipeline, yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so once
Pipeline
I
is
say
really
that-
about.
Or unless it's the same
audit
thing, and just you considering it's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing.
Covering Margaret.
whereas folio is
Yeah.
really more of.
Okay, now
Yes.
let's
That's
go
the
to
word.
the-
It's our word.
Okay, ladies, let's do this. Let's finish this class and you can talk later. So because I really want to introduce this to you. It's amazing tool, guys. This is the and Raymond can send you the link to that so that you can print out and but this is really good. It goes through every single item on the contract, right? And it shows you amazing, right? And it shows you what needs to be tracked down. Okay, so we need to start using this document and Raymond will somehow incorporate it into our system so that we have that there in the system.
Well, the default is 17 days on those. You're saying, you know, in your contract, if
Yeah.
they change it to 10, and so then
Yeah,
you would print this for every contract.
Yes, absolutely. So this is their copy.
Yes, right.
We can, I don't know, can we actually recreate it somehow that we can insert? Can you do it in a way that people can insert their own date?
I'll have to check, but I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, maybe later Raymond will look into that if we can do that. If not, then we will use this maybe hard copy or whatever. But this is a very good way to track everything, as you can see. The entire contract is right here. Entire contract is right here. So again, I highly recommend to put the dates wherever possible instead of 3 days, 5 days, 17 days. The date for yourself that you know, and publish the dates to everyone. So this is car tool for us. So we need somehow to adopt it, that we really kind of watch what we're doing. My main concerns are, let me tell you what are my main concern. Well, everything is a concern if it's not done properly. However, listing agents, sellers docs to buyer, the timeline for that is not done. Buyers docs to seller back, never done on time. So those are the things, and we will study purchase contract every time we meet. It will give us better understanding, but this is very important, okay? It's a new tool that a car created for
Very
us.
nice.
Nice, very nice, very easy. You can do it, I suggest to send this link to your clients that they see what's going on. And that if they don't comply, that at least you did your job to protect yourself, you did send it to them.
What is it called?
Right up there, car
It's timeline
risk
of events.
management dash QA.
Well, RP.
You can't send them this link, you have to print out the form or like do a PDF of it because they
No,
can't.
but she wants to get to it.
Yeah,
We're
just
trying to.
RPA timeline,
Yeah.
yeah, that way. Or did you make a copy for us, Raymond? Maybe you did.
There's a copy in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here it is. Oh, cool. Oh, it is, we got it. All right, we got it.
Oh, you did make it.
Yeah, I didn't realize, because you said tracking event items, so I thought that was a different.
Oh,
thing.
you are a good boy, so you did make a copy.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I wondered how many pages it is, that's actually much pages.
Okay, I don't know.
But the question is, are you saying that this should be incorporated in the pipeline?
Yes. Yes. It should be very helpful if we can do that, yes. Yes. Now, we need to think if we cannot incorporate this into pipeline, how do we work with this?
So Raymond, however you have the copy, you know, the explanation.
Yeah, right.
But, so it, I think that has to be.
Okay. So it's very interesting that every single page here is of such importance, and we do not follow it really until we have this in front of us. So it should really help all of us to stay on track and to present to attorney that we have done that. It's a workflow in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to your point, you know, I would sometimes maybe pick the days, I hate to say that, but I mean, in a weird sort of way, your seller should be going through this with you saying, all right, so how many days do we want for this or that, or I mean,
Seller is more buyer, right?
Well, in either case, but I think even in a listing, right, you might say, okay, well, we'll ask for the loan to be done in 10 days, you know, and we kind of
I
walk
agree with
it
you.
through
I agree
them
with you.
rather than saying, okay,
Perfect.
as the seller.
Do you
fill out
agree with
here
that?
what- Yeah, fill
Yeah.
out here what you think.
You know, this is an excellent idea. I thought more about buyers, but you're absolutely right. If you show this to seller and say, go ahead, think about, talk to your wife or talk to your husband, fill in the dates that I have some guidance as the offer acceptance and things like that. Very good, very good. And if, yeah, and then if they say, no, we don't want that anymore, at least they gave you first impression, so to say. They cannot say, oh, no, the last minute. They can change it, of course, but at least they cannot blame you for anything because they were given this.
Just for example, dispensable space disclosures, home fire hardening. A seller might say, oh shit, I got a lot of work to do around this house before I ever do that. So it may be you're not really ready to list the house yet, right?
Yeah.
But also just notice that this doesn't, you have to print it out landscape in order to get those
Yeah,
notes,
yeah.
because otherwise
They
the
come
seller
down,
won't, they needs
Yeah.
to know.
Well, I don't know why we can't send the link to them without.
Because you can't send the link because it's through car and you have to have a car login to access it.
Oh, but you could just PDF.
Yeah.
it.
You
I
can
see,
PDF,
you
but you
need to
can't send them
PDF,
this link
download it
through
in
car
PDF.
and you have to have a
Oh,
car
I
account.
see what you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is when you say, why do I need a real estate agent? If I were a seller and I looked at this, I'd like, oh shit, I understand why I need a real estate agent.
You
right?
know, that's true. That's
All
so
of these
true.
things are all
That's so true.
liabilities.
Oh my God, yeah.
Good point.
So the more you show the seller how much work you do, the better
Yeah.
off you will be. You know, for some agents who are already established, they may not need that extra effort, but for the people who do not have that flow of transactions, it might help a lot.
Well, either way, because the sellers and buyers don't necessarily experience. I mean, I've run across so many sellers
that's
that have
true.
been,
That's
that
true.
haven't bought and
That's
sold
true.
anything in 20, 30 years,
Yes,
and
that's
everything's
true.
changed.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Let me ask you a question. You brought this in. Why
Yes.
is that?
Yes, thank you very much. I brought this in.
And have to leave it back to 12, so 4 weeks out.
So we are done.
We're not really.
So guys, without me taking time to look for this document, Margaret, can you please,
What, snap it?
do you have the snap? Is it
Yeah.
snap? Yeah?
Yeah,
Snap and D. So what, thank you very much for bringing this up. I wanted to show you guys that this document is actually enough. We don't, if you have this document, we do not need pamphlets to sign.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't need to use.
Oh,
To
we don't
sign.
have to do those.
Huh?
The government booklets, we don't need to print them.
No. This will be it.
No, yeah.
Well, yeah, well, these
The PDF.
PDFs,
PDF.
PDF.
but they're all right here, they're
Yeah.
also on the statewide buyer and seller, yeah.
So please don't worry about getting those.
So we don't need to get the initials on the first pages anymore.
No, you don't need the actual pamphlets to send out for
Just
signature.
need the
This is it,
signature
it.
page.
Okay? Okay. So guys, that's all I have for you. You did very well as usual. We covered quite a bit,
I
right?
think so.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, let's just kind of go around the room. What was the,
Well, I didn't have a problem either. I don't know what I would do.
what would the?
Well, it honestly, all of this makes the transaction coordinator's role so much more important.
Important, yes.
So guys, I don't know, again, it's my proposal, I want you to understand my position. I show you what I see needs to be done, right? I teach you how it should be done, but it's Margaret's last word. So if you decide to get mad at me, remember, it's not my decision whether you should do it or not. Please, don't get mad at me, I'm a very good girl. I'm trying really hard for you.
Oh, there's a chat.
See if
What's the chat? Connie, how, what, how to
How to
do
do
the
the
home
home
warranty
warranty
and the
commission
commission if there's a change, an amendment? An amendment, my dear.
Amendment, well, she's probably asking about the counter offers, but I think, did we cover that?
Are you
Connie?
talking about the counter offers, Connie, or are you talking about after everything's agreed?
Oh, that's what she got out of the conversation.
Oh,
It was
okay.
not a question, it was a comment.
Thank
What
you.
did she say?
No, she was letting us know what she got out of, was
Oh,
the
what did
important point was that
Oh,
to do the home warranty.
Just one
commission.
point, that's all?
Well, that's. yeah,
All right,
that's
guys, so Margaret wants you to get feedback very quickly, what we have learned, how do you feel, your feelings, your really feelings. All right, I'm a person for feelings. All right, Celeste, my dear, start
Yeah.
with you, go ahead.
Well, the big thing for me was that the seller has to go off and find out what all of the government required documents are.
I have a hard time with that.
Well,
Okay, look at that.
maybe you go together, I don't know.
Well, you have to go anywhere.
Take an 80-year-old.
No,
lady and
the attorney
sit
suggests
on
not, attorney suggests not to go together, let him do that, yes, if he doesn't want to do it, get it in writing. Get
Yeah,
in writing, we need to find more about how to handle waivers from attorneys, that's something I will look into. Very good, was it helpful?
Oh, yes, there's lots more, but
Yeah.
I don't want to.
All right, all right.
I
Thank you.
gotta tell you, all the little text messages and notes sent between buyers and sellers and an agent, very scary that could be all brought in a litigation.
Yes, it is scary, but it's not a big deal really. If you follow just one rule, stick to the facts. Don't emotions, don't do anything facts. It happens this day. Do you agree with that? Or we just discussed ABC, do you agree with that? Something like that.
It's just that your person has chosen you because they trust you and they will vent on all the bad things that are happening. They're gonna vent to you and they're gonna put it in a text message to you. And you have to respond in a way.
They can do whatever they want. It's
I
what
know, I
you
know.
do.
But my point is, how
It's what you do.
Dorothy, is all of your communication with your clients through paper line? Okay.
no.
And I asked, folio is my main thing, but I asked them in the beginning, is email, phone call, or text message your preferred method? And so there's a lot of text message. She has full access to my email and my folio and to pipeline, so if they communicate that way, she sees it all, so, we're covered, but text message is all me. There's
Yeah,
no way
but
to
you
really
can,
put
but
it in.
I mean, it's usually a flow with that there's a
Right, it's
conversation.
easy, yeah,
log,
yeah,
so,
yeah, oh, yes,
You know,
that's
in
fine.
text and you can, whatever, print,
Just
screen
a
share,
lot of
whatever,
work. I
send
mean,
it
if you're
somewhere.
trying
Okay,
to-
Pauline, and I will get to you. Right.
That I have to be careful what forms I use to not put Dorothy's commission on her contracts. And then the home warranty, just checking to make sure the verbiage is correct.
Yes, thank you. And you, Dorothy?
So me with the government point of sale requirements, I promise you, it did not used to say that. It just said government requirements, which left an open check, and that's why I had that.
I see,
And
I see.
I always,
Yeah,
that was actually an attorney that told us to not accept a contract that has any checks on there. I've counted them out. But the point of sale clarified it, and that's good. So what I do and what I want to continue to do is get the car legal updates in red. And I have been really good in the past at watching what is in red, and I think Connie does the same thing. And that is super helpful in understanding what's been changed.
yes, I agree with you. I have that as well.
Can you bring those when there's new ones? I mean, that would be really worthwhile.
Once only when they change certain things, yes. But not all the documents has read, but I think we can do that. I
Only
think.
just subscribe to the ones when they are read.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they're,
and that will be good.
it wouldn't be
Yeah, I
more
agree
than
with
once
you.
a
You can
month.
just get off the website.
You can, yeah, that's where I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
spent a lot of time in July of last year and in December going through all those, but I missed,
does
there's
help.
one I missed.
It does
you know.
help. I just want to comment very quickly what you just said. I think that's important that everything that you do with communication with your clients and between it can be easily printed or whatever, but you can probably exclude text from your offers to communicate if you like. If you like, if you don't feel this is good, don't do that. It's up to
It's
you.
super important because I use the Exit Resource Center. I respond to every lead as soon as I have it, and I use the Resource Center. And there's a flow and a tracking. Okay, I'm not gonna toot my own horn here, I really am not, but
Okay.
I was really good at tracking all the leads that I got into Monte del Lago. During our meeting last week, I had a deal fall apart the day after it was supposed to close. Okay, so while I was in this meeting at about 11:15, I got notice that we weren't closing at all. I went to my desk and in 2 hours, I contacted everybody. I had a phone number, email address, smoke signals, whatever. And I found another buyer and we close tomorrow. Just from 2 hours of going through
Which
that.
property is that?
Rio de Agua, the one that goes
Yeah.
front. So the thing is, if I excluded text, that's the only way I got this guy, you know what I mean? So, and I just think they copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and I sent out. I don't know how many communications I
But you didn't need
it was over
them.
30 or 40.
But I think, Bridget, you're saying you don't
Yeah.
need to print them all and put them in your.
No, I'm not
transaction.
saying
No, she's
this
saying don't
stuff.
offer it.
I only saying between you and your client, only. If you want to exclude that communication and say we will talk only via email, for example.
What I do with the email then is I say to confirm what we discussed and then I send it in email. That's how I summarize it.
It's up to you
establish
guys,
that.
whatever you are in
But I would
charge.
have lost, I would have
No,
lost.
absolutely, absolutely, I understand. Thank you very much, guys, so I think we're done. Any questions? I'm here a couple of minutes if you want me to talk.
I think we're gonna go on a call with Margaret.
I know I have a call at noon.
You got anyone on the phone? This is from Cynthia.
Yeah.
Is Cynthia a new agent?
She's going to be, she's getting ready to take her test.
Yeah, she hasn't taken it yet, have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
Studying.
I think she's got it. I think she's got her date.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, so Z has been training her, so.
Is Z around? I haven't seen.
She was on
She's on the call.
Oh,
She
she's
was
on
on the
the
call,
call?
yes, because her roommate has COVID, so she was on the.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
What does this mean? What does this mean, put away? I don't know.
Because I said I don't wanna
Toot
toot
your
my
own
own
horn.
horn, and she goes, toot away. And she knows I have gas.
She was listening.
Is it any way to, Dorothy, to talk to your husband for me on that thing? Thank you.
Yes, we're getting ready to do a big trip.
Okay, is he very busy, or I can wait until he comes back?
Let's wait till he
It's
comes
better
back,
to
it'll be
come
the
back.
end of the month, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he leaves for Central America
Oh, okay.
Thursday morning.
So we
day
can
after
do when
tomorrow.
he comes back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's-
Thank you. Really
She's
appreciate
got
it.
6 border crossings.
To go through
Oh my word.
on bike?
Yeah. He's been going crazy. He's got to get
But
insurance
gotta,
for each country and every border crossing is different and. So I only have
Bye-bye.
2 to go through.
Bye.
Where are you going? Which two?
Excuse me, just one. I go from Costa Rica.
We're trying to get him.
Yeah, yeah. Going.
So Margaret, I need to talk to you, but you're busy now.
Not right now, I've got a 12
Okay.
o'clock.
I'll call you later.
Okay.
Or call me when